Hello there. Several years ago, I was at Sunday Mass, and at one point in his homily, our pastor at the time, Father Bill Burns, intoned the words, "Things are not the way they are, things are the way we are." I must admit that during that homily, I must have lapsed into a world of my own because those words zapped me right back. You see, this is at a time when I was rather fascinated with the correlation between our thoughts and our feelings and our thoughts, the back and forth between the two. And those simple 13 words, things are not the way they are, things are the way we are, really helped to put a lot of the pieces into place for me. Let me explain. When Father Bill said, things are the way we are, he was, of course, referring to what we feel at any moment in time, what psychologists like to call the concept of state. My personal definition of state is the way in which we view our world and ourself at any moment in time. Or put another way, what's going on in our internal world. To truly understand the concept of state, I like to use the analogy of a woman looking at the roses in her garden. If the window has a coating of grime, her roses will appear fuzzy, blurred. If she wiped the window clean, her roses would look beautiful and inviting. It is the same with the window of our mind. We have to wipe away the grime. Another analogy I like to use is that of a TV set. If your television set is not plugged in right, it emits blurry, fuzzy, haphazard images. If, however, it is properly plugged in, the result is vivid, vibrant, radiant color. It is the same with the screen of our mind. It has to be properly plugged in. Now let me back up a bit. We human beings communicate in two different ways. We communicate externally with others, but then we also communicate internally. Those things we picture, say, and feel within ourselves. How well we communicate externally will determine our level of success with others. Far more importantly, our level of internal success, our level of peace, of love, of joy, or at the other end of despair, distress, unhappiness, is the direct result of how we communicate with ourselves. This process of communication with ourselves is absolutely paramount because how you feel, and therefore how you act, is not so much the result of what is happening in your life at any moment in time. It is your interpretation of what is happening. The problem is that most of us have turned this process of interpretation on automatic. Something happens, and we simply react. I'll be honest, I do this, no question. Yes, in the hurly-burly of life, when things come at you with warp speed, when everything seems to be happening at once, the good stuff, the bad stuff, and everything in between, it's not easy to walk the talk. But the breakthrough comes when we finally realize that, difficult though it may be, and clearly some situations are far more challenging than others, in the final analysis, we do have the God-given ability to control our thoughts, the vehicle through which we create meaning. When we truly understand that the meaning of any event in our life is the meaning we consciously choose to give it, we are finally in the driver's seat. We are then poised to direct our personal kingdom. And that is precisely where the concept of state, how we feel, our internal world, kicks in. Because clearly the state we're in at any moment in time will influence the interpretation of any experience we have at that moment in time. Now here's the good news. We have a secret weapon. Know what it is? Okay. So we know that our thoughts and our feelings are inexorably linked. The back and forth between them makes them incredibly powerful partners, indeed pivotal twins. Your secret weapon is living that understanding, day by day, hour to hour, even moment to moment. Even more importantly, it's living the understanding that this is how the back and forth plays out. Our thoughts, how we picture things, as well as the things we say to ourselves about the situation at hand, create the state we're in, and thus the kinds of behaviors we'll produce in that moment. Conversely, however, the state we're in will in turn influence our thoughts, because clearly what is in our internal world will influence and affect how we view our external world. That's the back and forth in living, breathing color. And that leads me nicely to the spiral effect. Good thoughts is equal to good feelings is equal to even better thoughts. The spiral is up. Sadly, as we know, the converse is just as true. Lousy thoughts is equal to lousy feelings. Lousy feelings equals even lousier thoughts. You get the picture. I was going to sign off right about now, but I can almost hear some of you saying, "Come on, Ivan, big wow." Of course, we know our thoughts and feelings are linked. It's obvious, intuitive, common sense. We get it. Yes, you get it. But have you lived it? The last time you had a conversation that didn't go too particularly well, did you pause? Things were escalating, temperatures were rising, but did you pause? Mentally step back and coldly and dispassionately tell yourself, "You know what? I don't like how I feel right now. I've got to get to another place." I'll tell you when we get it. We get it when we are truly able to transition our mental settings from automatic to awareness. I'd like to conclude with a little personal anecdote. A decade or so, I was at the family cottage. It wasn't the best of times for me. I was consumed by the fact that I was facing imminent, fairly consequential surgery. Anyway, it was a delightful Saturday afternoon and I went for a walk in the woods. It was a disaster. I felt pretty miserable. Forgive the pun that on that afternoon I couldn't see the forest for the trees. Anyway, the very next day, Sunday, a fabulous sun-drenched afternoon, and something had changed. Don't ask me why, but I actually managed to get a grip on myself. Carefully thought things through, and at the end of it all, actually felt pretty good. I decided, let's go for another walk in the woods. This time, I actually heard birds happily chirping away, the melancholy sounds of a rippling stream, everything beautiful, everything captivating. And then I thought, hang on a second. It was this way yesterday afternoon. Nothing had changed. I had changed. Yes, things are not the way they are. Things are the way we are. Thank you, Father Bill. Okay, so if you liked what you heard, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Lots more to come. And by the way, a funny thing happened the other day. A friend of mine called and said, "Ivan, I'd like to subscribe to your channel, but you know what? Money is tight right now." And I said, "Buddy, no money is involved. You just have to press that darn subscribe button." Now you've heard it all. Take care and God bless.